Hi, everybody. I wanted to ask if anybody happened to suffer from chronic pain or depression and how well it's being treated. Well, you might know that I'm off grid. And when you're off grid and you're planning for disasters and the possibility of never being able to treat your pain well again, and I'm not talking about, oh, I'll just take some ibuprofen. I'll just take some aspirin. I'll just get some really easy to get Voltaren, which is another anti-inflammatory. If inflammation isn't the issue, or your pain is past the point of anti-inflammatories helping, by the way, if you take a lot of anti-inflammatories, any of them, including aspirin, you'll start to bleed in your intestines, and you'll see it in your waste products. That being said, you should treat your pain. You should stockpile your narcotic pain relievers, your morphine, your Lortabs, your OxyContin, whatever. But, pardon me, I mean, my way these days, pardon, is to just go ahead and relax and try to get some kind of endorphin rush, because endorphin means endogenous morphine. It's produced in here in a limited supply. Like, if you were to get into a serious wreck and break a bone, your body would produce a lot of endorphin or enkephalin, whatever. But then it cycles on and off because your brain kind of runs out of the enkephalins, and then you're stuck. And also, I need to read a very beautiful and important Bible passage from the New Testament of the King James Bible. Before I read from this book, I need to tell you, reading this book with all respect, I don't even feel worthy to open this book. Yet, with God's grace, I will open it and read to you a very beautiful verse. Okay, now let's talk about what you do when you don't have any. You don't have any pills. Of course, those of you that are smart are probably 99% of my viewers. All 43 of you, most of you, I wouldn't assume everybody, but most of you know where morphine comes from. It comes from a plant. So, if good old Uncle Sam will let you grow it and harvest it, you wouldn't have to go to the doctor anymore. Anyway, I'm not doing that. It takes actually a lot of work and patience. And sometimes you have to already be treating your pain to do something that requires a lot of pain, which is whatever. I'm not going into that. It's still illegal in the United States to harvest opium. So, thanks, Uncle Sam, right? For all you pain sufferers. You might also know about major depression. When I was younger, I had some episodes of major depression, but my 20s, early 20s, I just kind of realized, hey, you know what, you just have an anger management issue. Lack of serotonin, norepinephrine, whatever. But then I got into a wreck, and I knew what depression really was. You don't want to do anything. There's no such thing as a fun activity. A fun activity is not hurting anymore. That's a fun activity. And that's the only fun activity. Food does not taste good. You smile in front of your friends to not offend them, but that's about all you can do. How have I coped with this? Well, I that will show you certain ways. Of course, off and on, you know, I regularly, see a doctor that will actually treat. But because I know that you can lose the ability to have it, you have to grow your inner skill to resist the horrors within, basically. A couple songs keep getting stuck in my head. One is by Metallica called Dyer's Eve, and that is in my head a lot of the time when I'm doing stuff like breaking out the bedrock on the other side of that door in that big hole. If any of you know Dyer's Eve by Metallica, that's what's playing in my head when I'm doing that. But lately, working on these trees out here, the two orange trees that I don't know if they're even fighting to live or if that big native tree is just killing them. But this one beautiful song, and of course it's an oldie. I'm not 15 anymore, so a lot of my preference kind of goes to like music from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. But it's by a band called Soft Cell. The lead singer was Mark Almond. He's still around. The name of the song is Youth. And it's been playing through my head all day. I thought I'd share that with you. Anyway, in a moment here, I'm going to show you how to bust out of a pain state. You need to have endorphins running through your body. Very hard when you're in pain. It's like, I don't even want to move, man. I'm not. What are you going to do? Lay there? What are you going to kneel on the floor? Stop, Harry. At some point, you're going to crawl out of it one way or the other. And I'm going to show you some of the things that I do about it. Well, I have some chains hooked up to the ceiling. And some eye bolts. Obviously, with these, my first thought putting these eye bolts into the concrete with, a bunch of big nuts up in the concrete ceiling was if in the future I'm not going to have all this stuff in here. It's going to be more of an open cabin with a couple couches and the kitchen will actually be functional. It is functional, but like the sink isn't. And I don't have countertop cupboards, so. Anyway, you can hang game up there, but for now, where did I put it? I got this grub hoe pickaxe thing, and this is what I used at first to break the tepetate, and it did a good job, but I don't know if you see it's kind of bent. There's no need to buy expensive equipment, y'all. And be patient here. This might look like the oddest thing you've ever seen, but who remembers elementary school? This light is really ugly on that. Who remembers elementary school? How many chin-ups could you do? You might believe this, but when you're angry, you can do a lot. I'm not going to do as many as I can because it's going to be a waste of a video. I'm not even sure how many I can do because I haven't done this in a while. I'm usually out there breaking stuff, but you just actually this is just as tall as I am, so this is just a chin up. Nine. Whew. So that's one way of getting an endorphin rush, but your brain will learn how to produce more endorphins or enkephalins, and your nerve receptors that receive those, unfortunately, you'll produce more because your body will be used to it. But with having more endorphin receptors, you'll be more consistent. When you do something hard like that, just suck it up. Everybody, the book that saved humanity. Yeah, I know, saved humanity. Well, without Jesus, I don't even think the world will exist anymore. Let's face it, the Christians are what is holding this world together. Revelation from the New Testament, the Revelation of John. New Testament, chapter 20, verse 10. And the devil that deceives them, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Pardon me while I sit down. Verse 11. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it. And death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. And by the way, death and hell is not talking about hell like eternal damnation. It's talking about the grave. At least that's how I understand it. Sometimes the same word is used for two meanings in the Bible, as far as I understand. Do your own research to be sure. Again, verse 14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Verse 21. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the new earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God, out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And God himself shall be with them and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And the next verse of chapter 21 is 5. I'll read it. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of water of life freely. So, you need inspiration from the only real book. I mean, I might recommend some books here and there, but this is the only one. So I'll leave you with that. If you have chronic pain and depression, you're going to have moments where it's like, this is ridiculous. But remember, it's not forever. And you're not the only one that has to go through that garbage. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Peace out. Thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, donate if you can. You know we're not really making any money, so thank you.